Hello world, welcome back to the Razor RC, and we got a brand new vehicle on the channel. This is the Relarlo AMX 12B, brand new 12 scale electric 4-wheel drive buggy, and it just got announced, just got released. They are available for pre-sale actually right now, and they're $100 off right now. So regular price on this thing is $250. They have it on sale for $150 through the end of the month. So if you want one of these, that would be the best time to buy it. It does come in two different colors, a blue and then kind of a light blue and orange version. And for right now, they're actually also packaging it in like this sort of nice box or case, carrying case, whatever you want to call it. Seems pretty cool, so we'll have to take a look at that. I don't know if the later versions will, but I think through the end of the year at least they are coming in this version. So yeah, I have not seen this vehicle yet. I do actually have the 1/14 scale version. This has been out for a few months now. Hopefully you gotta check that out. That was also like 99 bucks when it first came out, so it was also a ridiculous deal. They're all, I guess, like $100 off when they first released them, I guess, just to generate buzz and that kind of thing. So pretty cool that they're able to do that. So yeah, let's kind of cut this thing open, take a look at what's inside the box. As far as I can tell, this is actually pretty closely based on the 14th scale, so kind of a larger version. And those of you that don't know, Relarlo is actually kind of a subdivision of a larger Chinese brand many of you probably actually know about, but I don't know if I'm allowed to disclose it. But anyways, here's the transmitter. I think it is an upgrade over the 12th or the 14th scale. Really nice packaging here with an elastic strap. That's actually pretty cool. Looks like it comes with the wing, which you will have to assemble. Some instructions, pretty typical. Looks like a little cover on the radio. This seems pretty nice. Couple of push buttons. That is unusual. Hard plastic wheel. Trigger, no slop. Actually quite good there. Looks like 4 AA's, pretty typical. I'm sure it's 2.4 gigahertz. Nice textured handle, integrated antenna. So yeah, we'll see how this, yeah, feels decent. Wish I had a foam wheel, but not a big deal. The old radio was really one of my main complaints about the 14th scale, is that just didn't have that great a response. Information for beginners. You will have to, well, it does come with a nice little catalog. Look at that. Pretty fancy looking catalog. So they do make a few different versions, trucks, truggies, and buggies as well. And as I was mentioning, some stickers, nice stickers. They're really kind of going all out. What I was trying to mention was that Relarlo is basically like kind of a premium edition, in my opinion, of what are vehicles you may have seen on the market already. Looks like it does come with a lot of extras, foam bumper, some spare arms, spare looks like even screws, hinge pins, maybe even a drive shaft in there. Does come with like a speed pinion gear, body clips, T-wrench, battery charger, of course. So a nice little, what they call the accessory pack. So a lot of extras. This is a super nice carry case. I gotta say, that thing is pretty awesome. So here's the buggy itself. As you can see, yeah, a little bit larger than the 14th scale. You know, probably an extra inch or so in wheelbase. In terms of width, let's kind of take a look at this side by side. Longer width wise, looks pretty much identical. I don't think too much of a change there. Shocks are a little bit different color. I think very similar design. Oil-filled suspension. Of course, this does have sway bars, so that is an upgrade over the 14th scale. Carbon fiber shock tower, which is kind of the one weakness I found on the 14th scale. I did upgrade to an aluminum one. That is an option if you want to do that. Body design, body styling, quite similar, quite attractive in my opinion. I do like it better than the purple color. It's just kind of a longer version of what you would see on the 14th scale. It does have a plastic film, which you will need to remove before use. So carbon fiber chassis, again, like I said, Rollarlo I think makes pretty much kind of premium editions of what you typically see. There are a lot of vehicles that are kind of similar to this, but not as nicely equipped. 27 by, I think it's 43 millimeter can, if I remember correctly. 3200 kV, or I'm sorry, 28 by 47 millimeter can. Waterproof, does have a heat sink, a really nice separate receiver and ESC. So that again is a nice change that they made. The X6F receiver looks a little bit like maybe another brand out there. So maybe a rebranded radio and receiver from another company. Nice little Velcro strap for your battery, a lot of room there. Separate servo, of course. It does have tie rods all the way around, so adjustable turnbuckles. Like I mentioned, the sway bars, tires have foam within them. I believe they are aluminum hexes now, which is nice. I think they're 12 millimeter hexes as well, so a lot of options in wheels and tires. The Furious wheels, as you can see there. So another nice improvement over the 14 scale is the slipper clutch. So I'm super excited about that, because that's really the one weakness in all these vehicles. They're all like tend to be direct drive, so there's no center slipper, no center differential, nothing like that. This does have a slipper that'll make a huge difference in the way this thing performs. The 14 scale is actually pretty good on the track. I do have a video showing it actually running on a carpet track if you check out the review video of that, but the slipper will make it even better. Carbon fiber hinge pin braces all the way around, as you can see. The ABCD blocks, carbon fiber Ackerman bar there as well. Anything else of note? Carbon fiber rear shock towers. Looks like threaded shock collars on the shock, so threaded preload adjustments, that's pretty nice. So yeah, just kind of a long wheelbase of the 14 scale should make it a little more stable. This motor I think is a little bit different. Yeah, it's a different size can. Looks a little shorter and a little fatter. In my opinion. It does have the sliding motor mount, so that's really nice. I think the old one is non-adjustable, but this does have a sliding motor mount. So this thing is pretty much like a heavily upgraded version of this buggy, in my opinion. It's just really nice. I had not really not too many issues. Did benefit a lot from a new ESC, a new radio receiver. As you can see, I'm running a Futaba as well as a Hobbywing ESC. That helped a lot. Suspension wise was perfect on that buggy. Feels pretty much the same on this. Really long antenna wires, you can see. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Looks like a 6-channel receiver. Interesting. So taking this thing off, let's see if we can, how do you open this? Not really sure how that opens, but yeah, here we go. Adjustments, a few different dip switches, so that's interesting. Throttle, steering, trim, not sure what's going on. It says throttle, steering, reversing as well. So yeah, interesting. We'll have to figure out how that works. Oh, and last thing, the LiPos included 2800 milliamp hour, 7.4 volt, 20.72 watt hour battery. So yeah, this looks a little bit larger than the one that comes in the 14 scale. I think it's higher capacity as well, so a little bit longer run time. So yeah, that thing should perform well. And yeah, let's try this thing out and drive it. All right, got a chance to run the buggy in a lot of different circumstances. Did try it out on asphalt. Runs really well there. Ran it on some smooth groomed, almost like a hard packed sand. Drove quite well there, actually quite a bit improved over the 14th scale. Also tried it on grass. Not real great in grass, I'm gonna have to say, because it's just too small really for any sort of grass, unless you're on like a putting green or something like that. Probably not the best for this type of vehicle. Also ran on a bashing spot. Actually drove excellent on dirt. Tires had plenty of traction, pretty good speed, was able to do some fairly large jumps as well with this thing, so that worked out well. And then finally took it to a carpet track where it did actually drive quite well. So couple comments on the vehicle. Radio is quite a bit improved. This is actually a pretty decent radio. It's not really a full-on race spec radio, but it is a lot better than the previous one that they used to ship with these things, so I do like that a lot. ESC was fine. Again, not a full-on race spec ESC, but worked totally fine. Actually quite a bit improved again from the previous generation of this vehicle, so that was fine. Battery is fine. It is actually the same battery that they used to include in the 14 scale. Servo is actually quite quick, no problems there. Motor ran pretty fast and cool. I think it gets somewhere in like the low 40s on 2S. I didn't run it on 3S, but they say, you know, close to 60 miles per hour. Probably not quite that fast, but I would guess mid to high 50s is possible with that motor. And then the handling drives quite well. Actually, the sway bars do help a lot on carpet at the racetrack. I did actually switch out to a Futaba radio. Personally, I do feel like if you're going to race this thing, you know, a higher end radio is going to be very welcome and make a difference. But you know, my Futaba radio costs $250, and this bike costs $150. So what are you going to expect? So the stock radio I think is fine for bashing, but for racing, you know, definitely worth getting better radio. ESC again, I think for bashing is totally fine. There's no reason to change that out at all. If you were going to race this thing, yeah, I think you'll get a little bit smoothness, a little more linearity if you had a race level ESC, but you know, for bashing, totally fine. Vehicle is quite a bit improved over the 14 scale. I mean, pretty much everything they did was to make it easier, work out, more reliable, pretty much address everything that people complained about. Definitely electronics are greatly improved. They do all have all hex hardware. They did beef up the front shock tower. It even includes a spare aluminum one, which is pretty nice. Even a lot of spare parts, arms, hinge pins, even some plastic wheel hexes if you prefer to use that, speed pinion. So a lot of extras included in the box. Does only have a single battery and single charger, and the charger is just a plain old 1 amp charger. So if you do have a aftermarket charger, that will help quite a bit. Instruction manual is quite nice actually. It does have all the parts, and really the great thing about this vehicle is that all the parts are actually available on Amazon. So everything, you know, you think you could break, I'm pretty sure they include on Amazon. Even upgraded diffs, screws, shocks, pretty much everything that comes with the car I think you can buy on Amazon. So that's really, really nice, because all these sort of budget entry-level vehicles, one of the big complaints or concerns you're going to have is that, are you able to get parts? And yeah, with the Rolaro stuff, I think there's no issue there. So this does sell for $150 right now. I think that is a steal, honestly. My value category is a little bit different than most, but in my opinion, this is probably the most nicely equipped entry-level vehicle I've seen, at least on this mini scale side. All the other vehicles, there are other pretty decent vehicles, but they don't have the amount of carbon fiber, aluminum, metal, aluminum hexes, just really, really well equipped, all steel drivetrain, adjustable motor mounts, heat sink. I mean, this is a pretty nice vehicle in my opinion, compared to what you normally pay for. So $150, you know, is a steal in my opinion. $200, I think would be a pretty good deal. $250, it's kind of a fair price, I think, for what you get. Then it starts getting to be kind of like, yeah, you pay for what you get, but it's not an absolute steal, but I think is fine as well. Now, one concern I had on the durability side, the turnbuckles do pop off on occasion. You know, when you crash into something, they can pop off. Not a big deal, you just pop them off. But the one breakage I did have is actually, I'm not really sure why, but doing the dirt bashing, I did, you know, launch this thing, did some cartwheels and stuff, and I think I broke the bell crank right there on the steering system. So yeah, that is a plastic part I'll have to buy. But I didn't really have any other concerns. I did nail this thing pretty hard into some metal jumps and stuff at the carpet track. Didn't really break. That was the only part that seemed to break. Just turnbuckles would pop off here and there, but that was about it. So yeah, vehicle seems pretty durable overall. They did improve a lot of the front end stuff that I had issues with in the past where the shock tower is breaking. So that is really nice to see. And with the aluminum one, I don't think you'll have any problems there. So yeah, maybe that's the only part I would consider upgrading. Or not upgrading, but actually buying spares on. So yeah, my thoughts, yeah, really good vehicle. I have had, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 of these entry level sort of budget Amazon specials. This is probably the best of them all, honestly. Some of the other ones are pretty good, but this has the combination of actually being really good on every terrain. Everywhere I tried it, it actually drove quite well. And so that's what was the most impressive thing to me. You can race this thing. It is a little bit more stable than the 14 scale, but the dimension wise, it's just a long wheelbase version. And, I don't know if it's really the right geometry or whatever for a race buggy. Most of them are going to be more the 14 scale or the shrunken end version, but yeah, it drives actually pretty good at the track as well. So anyways, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. It is $150 through the end of the month, so obviously if you want to get one of these, I would highly recommend you do that right now. I will have a link in the description below. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe buttons. Look for more videos soon. Thanks for watching.